All right, we're live. Hello, everybody. Hello, Maree. Hello, Jazzy. How's
Yay. Hi,
everybody
everyone.
doing today?
So, hi, Lisa. Yeah, gosh. Oh my gosh, we've had like rain, just really heavy rain, which is really unusual for this time of year. So, yeah, it's been a bit crazy over here.
Oh, so I have something to tell you. You know the chocolates that we bought at the store?
Yes.
Okay, so I had my daughter try them yesterday and she loved them. She said it reminded her of Christmas.
Oh, isn't that interesting? Probably because of the cinnamon in them. They're a little bit chai-like. So, oh, that's fascinating. And you don't get them over there. That's
No,
crazy.
no, yeah.
Wow.
So for everybody here, um, Marie had bought some like these almonds that are covered in chocolate, but the chocolate is not like a glazy chocolate where it's shiny. It was more like almost like it had cinnamon on the outside, but it didn't really taste a lot like cinnamon. It was so light, so light. Um, so I fell in love with these chocolates, and so she takes me to the grocery store, and because I wanted to see like, well, what are grocery stores like in Australia? Like I'm thinking it's something completely different. And it's funny to see like all the different brands and stuff like that. And so I bought $20 worth of these chocolate almonds. And yeah, so it's still
And it
so good.
was,
I'm still eating them, but
oh, good. Because I said to Elisa, because she was only going to put a few in for herself to have on the plane and pack the rest of it. No, 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 no. This is like a really long flight. You're going to be eating your last one halfway through the flight, going, "Oh, I wish I had brought more with me." So I'm going to take more on the plane with her.
yeah, yeah. The rest I had to put in the luggage, but yeah, it was so good. So anyway, I forgot to tell you that when we were talking.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm glad, I'm actually glad I don't have them here, to be honest. So
Because you
I
just be like, nom, 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 nom.
I can't be weak and go buy more. I can't. I'm stuck. I don't, I can't go buy more. So it's a good thing. I'm glad we don't have them here.
Yeah. Oh, that is so funny. You don't have something like that there. Oh,
No, we
interesting.
don't. We don't.
But that's it, isn't it?
But
It's the subtle differences of just like you say, the brands, the foods. Yeah, it's really interesting.
yeah, absolutely. So if you're in Australia, go to Coles and get the chai chocolate
Chocolate almonds, and they're in the
almonds.
bulk section. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So, yep, go check them out. They're good. All right. So before we get to the question, and yes, I thought the soul trap had been dismantled too, but we're going to ask.
Mm.
I couldn't remember if we talked about this already or not.
I think we had, but we have, and it's quite a while ago though. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's always good to revisit. And what I find intriguing is everybody's thought processes or ideas and what they think happens to a soul when we leave this physical body and that golden cord gets cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would love to know is what is everyone's thought processing of that.
Yeah. Well, this question came from a video of Alex Collier,
Mm,
who is describing that his guides told him that um, when you die, you're looking forward and all you see is the light. But he's like, but you guys never look behind you. And behind you is space. It's because this is what I always had two things happen in my sessions, in my hypnosis sessions.
mm,
And whenever I took the person through the death process, they either saw the light or they went to space. And I never
mm,
could like understand like why is there a difference? Why is it that some go to the light and some go to space? I never was able to figure that out. But I figured out that going to the light, whenever I started doing them going to the light, I'd be like, okay, what's behind that light? Like
yeah,
I started asking, like, what happens then? And that's when I found the soul trap and the reincarnation matrix and the,
yeah.
the traps. So, um, So what I wanted to really find out was, is that true? Is it just as simple as just looking behind you and there it is, it's space, and you are now out of the matrix. You're out of the reincarnation matrix because you do have an option. It's just that you don't know you have that option.
Mm,
So I want to see if that's real or true. That part, because that
interesting.
we didn't talk about that last, when we talked about this, we didn't talk about that when you die, you have an option. Well, do we? First of all, do we have a choice? Do we have an option? And is it true that if we look behind us, we can choose space and going back home?
Yeah, it's a great question because I remember people that had sort of died on the table or whatever, and some of them said, "Oh, I don't believe in God," and it was because they went into the dark, they went into the void, which sounds like the space, and so, but sometimes then what I've heard is that you can go beyond that. Once you hit that space, then you go beyond it, and that then is true light. So it's fascinating that you're saying that. So because there can still be light, but yeah, it's funny. It's like it's hitting that dark spot, the void first. But some people
Yeah.
don't go beyond that; they come back in the body too quick, so they think that's all there is.
Yep.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so how do we want to ask this?
So, first of all, the question is, when our body dies, does our
Mhm.
soul have a choice of going to the light, or going to space,
Okay,
right?
yeah, interesting. Oh, that one's wants to come out. No, this is number the two of swords is either asking questions, and that actually hurt my hand and I had to pick it up. It's either a no or it's asking the right questions. I feel now no, I don't. That's just what I'm getting from this, that it's not, it doesn't actually happen now, but I'm going to see if it actually happened. Did it happen at a when the earth was at a lower frequency, or at a less, it's a more constricted frequency when that was in place. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, they're hurting today, this is crazy. Oh, which one is it? That one. Yeah, so high priestess, she's all about mystery. So there was the hidden veil behind, and it's so interesting because it's behind the veil. So
Yeah.
so
And there's two
before,
options there. There's two options. One is dark. One is the dark, and one is like, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I know, because I was asking about that. So yeah, before, because I kept getting the word before, but not now, and because of our expansion of consciousness and raising and our frequency. So but it was a strategy because that Seven of Swords has come up. So there was definitely a strategy in play around it. Um, but I also feel that as souls, oh God, that one's hot. What's that one? Judgment. Look at this. I was just about to say, as souls coming in here as star seeds, we knew about the trap. But I think it was almost like we didn't maybe realize how much we'd forget, or how tricky it was going to be. But we knew. That's why that judgment card's come up. And so,
Okay.
yeah. So I feel that, for us, we knew about it,
Okay.
but we probably chose to be in it.
Well, yeah, I mean, we came for a reason, so yeah, we definitely chose to be in it.
Yeah.
But was it as simple as just looking back behind you? Really? Was it that simple? Can we ask?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, because come on, that's
I
pretty
know.
simple.
But however, remember, I mean, and what I believe and what I've also heard from people is whatever you feel that will happen, it's like we can still create that, until the truth comes through, so people that are certain religion, that they are, their gods or whatever it is that they believe in comes through. So yeah, but let's just see, was it as simple as just having the know how to turn around? Wow, interesting. Interesting, because the cards I'm getting are cup cards. So the first one is the king. Where are we? King of Cups. Now, to me, he's the master of emotions, but there's something hidden under the cape. So it's like not everything is being exposed. So I was feeling, because I've seen so many people pass over being a nurse. You know, I would say it depends on their emotional state. So that Ace of Cups has come up, which is at the top emotional state you can have. So I feel if someone's in that beautiful, you know, space, and they know that when we die, we don't really die. We're simply leaving a body. Maybe people that are in that frame of emotional mind are the ones that can actually turn around and see something new, because we've got our Page of Pentacles. So it's not coming up that it is about just turning around. I feel it's turning the mind around to be able to perceive something differently. Or yeah, because sometimes things can get shown to us, you know, as just a way for us to be able to understand. Oh God, that's come up again. I feel it's about people that actually have some sort of have a frequency or whatever to be able to know it's there and for it to be present for them, with that Judgment card coming up again.
Okay.
So it doesn't
Interesting.
necessarily physically mean you have to turn around. I feel it. What I'm getting is it's the emotional mind that has
Okay.
to be aware. Whereas a lot of
Okay.
people are in fear when they die.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, the good news is the cards are saying once again that it doesn't exist anymore, which is a good confirmation of what the card said before, which is that that soul trap doesn't exist anymore, which is awesome.
But I wonder
Um,
how old the Alex Collier video was. I wonder when that was done.
it looked somewhat old.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And unfortunately, right, it's getting passed around. So then people are not
yeah,
realizing like, it doesn't
yeah.
apply anymore.
It's it. Reignites things.
Yeah. Okay, so Kathleen was asking, are the benevolent beings in the soul trap really angels that are there to help us decide our next life, or are they masquerading and really the dark ones?
Hmm.
And I don't
That's
remember the answer to this from last time, so all
and
I know is
sorry.
when when in the sessions when it happened with me and I started talking to these elders, they would masquerade as elders. They would get mad. So I don't think they were angels, but we'll see what the cards say.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and remember, this is all past tense as well, just so we know that this is actually how it was, not how it is.
Right.
So, yeah. Eight of Cups. Yeah, interesting, because this to me is when someone's walking away from something, and so yeah, that to me is like um, it's not a positive. It's not positive. So the Fool. So a whole new way of being. So this can be something new that people don't even know about. So the masquerading, people wouldn't have even thought about angels being, you know, masquerading as something else or being something else.
Yeah.
Now, Eight of Pentacles, it means that something's still being worked on. So there could be some stuff still going on that's fully clearing it. It doesn't affect people that are, like I talked about with that frequency vibration, but there could still be something that's going on behind the scenes, clearing like stuff out. So
Mm.
yeah, but no, and you know, it's interesting. Even beings that channel through people, I've always been really mindful of how, if I get a channeling or talking to someone, I have to be coming through my divine being through a very high frequency, because they can come in that way as well.
Which way?
Even if we're channeling something, even when people
Oh,
channel, yeah,
okay.
even in this frequency, like always, I always have a really high frequency, and make sure I'm connected in to my divine over higher self, whatever you want to call it, before
Yeah.
I actually channel anything.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
So
Okay.
yeah,
So,
they would
um,
definitely
okay,
masquerade.
so yeah, so the answer is that the dark ones were masquerading
Yeah,
as the elders or the good guys, angels.
Yeah, but not
whatever.
for everyone.
Um,
It was only for
huh?
people, not for everybody, because some people could actually see, or went somewhere else. Yeah, it wasn't everyone that went through that.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
And so I'm going to piggyback from this question. This question was the same as the other question, but what I'm thinking here is the when people would see their loved ones
Mm.
appear, were these also the bad guys masquerading as their families, or or were they really their family, like coming to get them?
Interesting. Let's have a look and see. Wow, it's hot. Five of Pentacles. So this is when people feel like they're left out in the cold. And so what I was getting, actually, Teresa, it was really interesting. I was actually getting, and for people that have been orphans or have never known their real family or whatever, how does that work? And then this card comes up, and then this card comes up afterwards. So this is the Chariot. So once there's balance, then there can be movement forward. So they would recognize souls even from other lifetimes that are family. So if they've deliberately chosen a life that's like an orphan and no family, they will actually still recognize family. So I'm just going to get one more just to confirm what I'm getting intuitively as well. Strength. Yeah. I feel, Teresa, that there are family that meet people as well. So there could be so many different experiences for people. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
strength, definitely strength with that. That's to me a yes, that family are there.
Okay.
Real souls that they
The
know.
real family.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I saw this video of this little girl. It was a baby. I mean, she was maybe a year old. And the mom had this suspicion that she was her grandmother incarnated. So she went and got a picture of her grandmother and showed it to the girl. And the baby took the picture and she started pointing at the grandma, and then she would touch her hair and like touch the picture, and like almost like she totally recognized that that was her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, are the children that are now being born with no veil, basically, like
Yeah.
they have all the answers?
And it's interesting, Elisa, because I'm on this site on Facebook, and it's called the Veritable something, but it's amazing. And the stories of these children, it always seem to be after about the age of 4, they start forgetting. And
Yep.
so they connect, but they tell like amazing stories of exactly what you're talking about, and even how they died and where they died and why they have a terror around water or whatever it is that's happened. The stories are incredible. So yeah, and I know, I believe it. I'm just like, yeah, this makes sense. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So because they do say that up to about the age of 7, the crown and the oversoul, they're still very connected to spirit. And then after that, that's why they say, give me a child to 7 and you can manipulate it.
Yep.
But those children are very Vata. That's their real Vata air type of time of their life. And so they are still connected to source. But
Yeah.
then after that, it tends to close down and they become more grounded.
Mm,
So yeah, and
okay.
I know those stories. They just feel true. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So, what can the cards tell us about the children now? Like how are they different than
Yeah.
us?
Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look. Yeah, I love it, because I was sort of getting, well, they're almost a whole different frequency. Their template is different, and then the Ace of Wands came up because I was intuitively getting that, and the Death card. So we've had this huge transition, and so now these beautiful beings, they may have been waiting for eons to come on, waiting for this frequency to actually be here on Earth, to hold the template of that 5th to 7th dimensional frequency. Yeah, Queen of Wands, integrity. They have integrity, and they're
Oh,
not
good.
afraid to use it. That's what I'm getting here. So that I love the Queen of Wands is about integrity, about intuition. So they're very intuitive. Let's have a look. I feel that the bubbas that were being born about probably 10 to 15 years ago were much more sensitive to this huge energy shifts, and they would, if people were fighting and arguing in the family, it would really impact on them. Whereas I feel the new ones coming through now, it's like they can hold their own.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. My head's burning. Yeah, that's what I was getting with that. So I feel that there's been a real shift in the template that they're actually bringing in. So they don't have to go through this Nine of Wands. They don't have to go through that journey like the poor ones, like 10, 15 years ago had to. They're born with more this the
Yep.
strength. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah. And it was
Good.
interesting as a midwife because I used to watch the shift in these children, and the names that parents would give these children were the same names, but you knew it was a frequency that child wanted to be called that. And then about 3 or 4 years later, it would completely shift to a whole new realm of names. It was
Wow.
fantastic to watch it. Yeah.
Wow. So, what was the question I was going to ask you? My mind went somewhere else. Shoot.
I hate that. I know.
Uh, um, oh, so I was at the restaurant the other day, and there was this big table, where we have tourons here from everywhere, and there was this big table of like 2 or 3 families, and every child had an iPad and headphones on. So they were conversation with the children was zero because they were watching something on the iPads.
Yep.
And I just kept thinking, like, what is our future going to be if this is happening? Like, so I have a serious concern about these beautiful children who are coming in with all these memories, but then they're like, where are we going with this? What's going to happen with this? Can
Yeah,
the
I
cards tell
know.
us?
We can have a look at it. I mean, it depends on the parents. I mean, I've got some friends that are very awake people that only the kids are, they having a lot of time for things like that. And there's really good conversations that go on. So sometimes when like you saw that family, that's all you remember from, and you think, is that what it's going to be like? But there are
Well,
very awake.
I've just
Mm,
seen like, when I'm shopping, there's people and, pushing their babies and they have an iPad. Like what I want to know is how are we going to dismantle what's going to happen with this technology
yeah,
that these kids have addiction to? How are they going to break this up? How are we going to, you know, is there something coming that's going to break this out, or I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Well, the first card up was our Six of Pentacles. Now, this is about keeping a balance. See the actual balance, the scales in the hand. So this is about keeping a balance on reality. So I feel for all the kids that have been smashed with these, devices, I'm just getting a question. How many of those are NPCs and how many are actually,
Oh,
that just came in for me because then I got the World card. So I feel as there'll be a balance around the world, but something's going to come in and actually help with this because we've got the Four of Swords.
that's what my question was. I was like, are we going to get help with this? Because
Yeah,
I almost felt like us humans can't do it. Like there's got to
yeah.
be some other technology that comes in and maybe like deletes that of the memory. So the next day they don't even know what an iPad is or something, something to that effect where,
I love it. Yeah, no, definitely there is something because again, that Nine of Wands has come up. I feel this is where we're at almost with it. It's like, oh, there we go. It's almost like it's ready to go to the end of it's nearly finished. So there's going to be something that does come up and come through that helps. Yeah. But, I really feel that once there's a big shift in how our system is set up, then parents won't be so busy having to work, 2 jobs and not have time for the kids anyway. It's like there'll be a structural change within society so that things are looked at differently. Yeah. So
I mean,
Yeah,
I hope so. It's just I also feel like the parents don't even know how to parent. That's why they give them these iPads because they don't have a clue how to be a parent, or they don't want to be a parent. They want to just escape on their own phone.
yeah, that's true.
So,
You think about it, really, it was the 60s and 70s where women started going out to work, and it was the 80s when both parents were often working. So these are the children, the grandchildren of families that first started not having a person at home. So kids would often get home from school on their own, watch TV. So it sort of started, didn't it? Like almost 2 generations ago, and this is the outcome of it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
So,
it's, yep, yep. But I feel there's going to be a change because that Emperor card just came up. So this is like, to me, a new system, something better, something, it'll be a whole different mindset.
I hope so. I
Yeah.
really do. Um, okay, so that's good. I don't see any questions on the chat, so I'm going to continue with the questions I had. They don't have to do with this. So, did
Yeah.
you have any other questions around this, or can I go to
No,
something?
no, that's fine. I mean, to me, it's almost like a part of this broken system. That's how I see it. It's the result of a broken system. So, but it's interesting because Barbara just said that she's a teacher and kids will
Yeah.
only do the work if they haven't got an iPad. So, I know, and
I
I mean, a
can't
lot of
even imagine being a teacher right now. I
it's,
can't even. I
I
can't
know.
even imagine.
So, and I think it depends on the teacher. Like I've got a friend who in New Zealand who amazing teacher. She teaches them yoga. She teaches them like, traditional cultural Maori stuff. She's just amazing. And she teaches them communication skills. And it's just a whole different way of being, depending.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
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 she's got a lot of leeway. I think it can be really difficult. And I know Barbara works with really challenging kids. So,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Wow, my heart goes out to you and all the teachers that have to
Yeah.
put up with this because I see how the kids react when you take it away. So I can't even imagine, how they're even learning unless they have an iPad in their face. I mean, I, I just don't see how they can pay attention, to be honest. Really. Um, the other question that had come to mind was, you know, it, for some reason, after I got back from the trip, XRP videos started appearing on my chat on my YouTube channel, and I don't look up XRP stuff. I don't care. Like it's like wait, like silver. It's whenever it gets here, whatever. So anyway, these videos started showing up. So now they're on my feed. Anyway, so they won the SEC case, and then now it was announced that Japan decided to use XRP as their coin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and now today was announced that BRICS is going to start. Russia and India have decided that they are going to use XRP as the coin to buy oil.
Isn't
Okay.
that interesting?
So Maree, what I find interesting is the price won't budge. It will not move. This price just sits there and it doesn't go anywhere. And at this point, I have to ask: is
Mm.
it being manipulated? Just like the silver, what
Yep.
is going on? Because it just doesn't make any sense to me.
No, no, it
And not
doesn't.
only that, when the market crashed, why didn't the silver take off?
I know.
Usually, when there's a market crash, the commodities go up. Stuff that's physical goes up in value. But what happened? No, silver went
Nothing.
down. And it was like, wait a minute, what? And then we know silver's manipulated. We don't even have to look into that.
I know.
But my
Gold went
question
up.
is
Yeah.
XRP?
I mean, I'll do the cards, but straight away I just got this massive yes. So yeah, yes. Let me just. I'll do
Okay,
the
so
cards.
why? So I would love for the cards to tell us why.
Okay. Yep. This card fell out. So our Eight of Cups fell out. So this is I feel until the system's been walked away from, it's going to stay at that lower end because countries will take it on. And, you know, that is, well, from what we understand, that is part of the NESARA and the, you know, the other one. So it's almost like keeping it real. Gosh. So the Lovers card has come up. So this is about keeping everything stable and balanced. So, because imagine if it would just go completely off the charts. And I don't think that anything is, they want everything to stay as it's been. It will go, but not yet. I feel this is like there's some sort of, what's the word? There's some sort of interaction that's keeping it level. So it's not, yeah, 9 of Cups. It's going to be used a lot more than people even know. And that's our desire.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm seeing, right? Because these videos are appearing and I'm watching them. They're short. They're like 5 minutes. So I just watch them. And yes, it's going to be used all over the world. It's being used all over the world, except for the US. Well, supposedly from what we know, right? So now JP Morgan said they were going to use XRP to pay for, we can pay mortgages now with XRP. So all these news come out, but then it just sits there. It's like, what the?
Yeah. So, and with the Hierophant card came up. So this is about the control. So it's like the people that have been in authority previously, it's like digging out the ones that are still in the crowd, because then this card came up, which is our Emperor, our beautiful, strong white hat system, literally. So that has to be completely out of the picture. And then that will come in, is what I was getting from. But it's, once everything's going, that's when it will go up. Once it's all set up, it's already probably worth so much more. But like you said, it's being restricted. So I would, yeah, I think it's just going to take time until everything comes up. Ace of Swords. Until everything is in play, ready to go, it's going to stay virtually, I reckon, under $2. It'll be under that until everything's ready to go and just buttons pushed. That's what the Ace of Swords is saying. So, yeah, so I think it's just, again, it's just part of the process.
So it's being manipulated then, for sure. I was like, this is not making sense anymore. Like every day these news come out like, oh, it's being used, this whole country is using it. Oh, this is, you know, and then nothing. It just sits there. It doesn't go anywhere.
Exactly. But Elisa, it's the same with silver. So many countries have been buying silver and they're going to be backing the financial backing of their money with silver. And it's, yeah, it's all being manipulated still. It's being held. It's being held. If it went, I think if it went loose now, if they let it loose now, it would just put everything out of balance too much. So,
yeah, but so when, I mean, I feel like something has to happen before the election or like, I don't know. I just, it's almost like if we're truly going by what the stars are saying as astrology and all of this is a year of abundance. So, you know,
yeah, exactly.
Is this going to come into play or not?
Let's see if it'll happen, you know. Let's see if we're getting anything on to 2024. Yeah. Again, once everything's balanced and ready to go, the movement forward happens. And I was asking about 2024, so there will be some movement. Oh, goodness, okay. But it's being hidden, again, manipulated. That King of Cups to me is always someone that's hiding something. So it's not yet. It's not yet. No, it's Knight of Wands. It's like fake information. The price of it, it's all fake information. That's the actions that are being taken at the moment. But I'm just still keep getting, but it's okay because it has to be to keep everything on a level playing field. Because if that went off and took off to its real value, it would just put everything out of whack. Yeah. So but I did ask for 2024. and it came up with the Chariot. So obviously, yeah, it'll move forward. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles
So,
just.
so what does that mean to you?
Well, to me, that means it will become obvious that XRP will probably take over the role that Swift had. You know, the other slow took 3 days to get your money somewhere. I mean, that's just starting to change as well. Notice they now have, you can pay things straight away. You know, you can see it go into someone's account, whereas you couldn't before. So over the past probably 2 years, that's been implemented. So maybe that's a warm up to bring through a system like XRP that is so fast that it can send through, you know, billions of dollars literally, or whatever, transfer of funds really quickly. But they've had to get people used to that as well.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's
I
all
wonder
part of.
what's going to happen with Bitcoin. What do you think Trump said something about Bitcoin, that he has Bitcoin, and like he was touting Bitcoin, which I thought was really weird.
Me too. I was like, okay, this is interesting. You know, because there's been so many different schools of thought. Like some say Bitcoin is going to be like the whole leader, the blanket of everything, and some people are saying it's going to go to zero. And I have no idea.
Yeah, so I don't understand. I really don't
I don't know.
understand.
It's part of swords. So there's been a lot of confusion, and maybe it's been deliberate. So there's been a lot of confusion because the swords is about it, the way we're thinking, and 5 is change and usually having a bit of a fight. Yeah. So, and again, that Lovers card. So this seems to be coming up when there's a play in process, you know, when it's a bit of a play. So, yeah, which is interesting. We've got the 10 of swords. So maybe the old Bitcoin, it's been taken over because we know why it was used and where it came from, apparently. So maybe that's been taken over and there's something new that's coming through. Yeah, look, magicians come up. So maybe this is actually based on a whole new, it's still called Bitcoin, but it's based on a whole new system. Don't know, because that magician can be about an illusion, and it can also be about having all of the tools you need already on the table, ready to use to create something. So, yeah. So it could go up. It could be something now that's positive.
Interesting.
I know. So, yeah. But I'm going to be watching that one as well. I mean, I don't have any Bitcoin, but I'm going to be really watching it and going, this is interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, if you haven't bought either one, there's no point in buying Bitcoin. And when you know that XLM, XRP and XLM
Yeah.
are at 10 cents and 50 cents. Like, okay, let me buy the one for 10 cents or let me buy Bitcoin for $60,000, like.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the 10 of Pentacles, which is abundance and lots of people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
I know. So it's just but it's a great movie because, we've had sort of clues that could go that way and we've had clues that could go this way, and then how's it actually going to end?
Yeah, exactly. But I never thought Ripple was being manipulated until now. Now for sure, I just could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it. I could feel it.
Yeah. I do feel, though, it's the white hats that are keeping it manipulated at the moment.
Yeah. But one guy said, like outside of the US, it's being used everywhere. It's being used everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's here that, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. So look, well, I mean, and from what we know, that will be the one that's used with the new system for the transitioning over. So eventually we won't apparently need banks and things like that, but for a while, obviously, we're going to. So, yeah.
Yeah, and Irene has a good point with the name. I mean, I personally don't care that it's dead money. If it's going to make me money, it's going to make me money. So it can be dead money. I don't care. But is it called crypto because of of that reason.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah. It's crypto
right?
for a reason. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if that name was chosen,
Yeah.
specifically for that.
Specifically for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Because I mean, people have been mega millionaires with Bitcoin, so it's made them money. So it's not like it's dead.
Right.
It has made many billionaires and millionaires. So it's real. I mean, it's
And I
real
guess
money.
it's like money, it's like mortgages. I mean, it's a death pledge, but it's like you still have to have it in the system to be able to own a home or something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, let's have a look
Yeah.
and see. No, well, I asked, is it crypto because it's something that's going to just die out, and that's why they called it that. But I got the Three of Wands straight up, which to me is looking out into the future and leaving the past behind. So it's going to have a place in the future, Irene, running from this card. But let's see what the next card comes up to actually give it the Temperance. So this is about patience and change, which is really interesting, isn't it? So the Temperance card is definitely about there will be some changes, but we just have to stay emotionally balanced and wait. That's Temperance card is definitely about the waiting game. So it's no, so Four of Pentacles, this is a foundation that's been laid. It's actually taken quite a while to lay a solid foundation. So it's not coming up that it is dead money per se, Irene, with these cards that I'm getting. It's just different. It's not something that
Interesting. So I wonder where the name came from then, you know?
I don't know
Yeah.
exactly.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
But I could see why people would make that connection.
Yeah, of course, and especially because, you know, every name in our system that we have means something that we're either being we've got authority telling us what to do, or we're pledging ourselves for life, or we're being governed by the mind is steering us. That's the government. Everything in the system is about controlling us. So, Irene, I think it's a
Yeah.
fabulous question. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No more systems, no more institutions. Sovereignty for all is my wish. Yes, for all of us.
Mhm.
And the good thing with crypto is that it takes the banks out of the system, right?
Yeah.
It takes as long as you don't use the bank's coins, you're going to be fine, because then you can deal, I can send money to Maree through crypto and it costs nothing, pennies, and she gets it immediately, like immediately. I mean, it's a whole new way of seeing things, like to get the banks out of the way and just tell them
Mm,
to, you know,
totally. Yeah.
yeah,
So, yeah. So no, I think I'm just intrigued to watch and see how it's all going to play out. And yeah, I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's all we can do, isn't it? Is just enjoy this ride. And I mean, intuitively, I was told to I'd never bought crypto, and I was told to get XRP and XLM intuitively like years ago. And I went, wow, what is this stuff? And so I had to look up how to do it and what it was. But that was my gut feeling, like get some of that and some of that. And yeah, so I just trusted it.
yeah,
So yeah, so I've just let it sit and just
yeah,
it'll be what it will be.
yeah. And you're not the
Yeah.
only one who got messages from up above
Mm,
to get those too, actually.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, um,
I love it, Lady Hawk. She talks to Woodchuck Bob because you know how we telepathize with animals. We had that on the Dream Show. She said, and she's saying, he said, just watch, just watch. I love it. Thanks, Lady Hawk. That's funny.
well, since we don't have any more questions, do we want to do a general reading?
We can do that. Why we haven't done one for a little while.
I know,
So
I completely forgot about them.
me too. Okay.
Ah, all
Oh,
right. So if you guys want a reading, put a 888 on the chat, and I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna wait to look and see the first that I see, and we'll do a general reading. All right.
I love doing these for people. It's so lovely.
So I got Irene.
Oh, Irene. Hi, Irene. Okay, so Irene, what I do is I just connect in through my heart, through my divine being, and I ask if it's okay to connect in with your divine being, your higher self, and I then just tune in and see what's going on. So this is usually just a little reading to give, and then I pull some cards to help me explain it to you. It's just about helping you usually in the present moment, and often what's going on a spiritual level. So that's usually how it works, Irene. So, okay.
And while Marie's doing the cards, shuffling, guys, please put any questions you may have that you want me to ask before we go, because we still have 15 minutes. So.
Okay. Right, let's see what cards come up for Irene. All right. So, Irene, when I was tuning in, I was actually seeing like a cross going through the center, and then across from left to right through the heart space. So I was sort of feeling maybe that you've been going through something quite big, like a deep change, and it's maybe almost like like I don't know, that you need to just take some time out for you. So we've got our Knight of Cups. Now this is someone that's bringing you an emotional message, but it's going to be gentle. You don't have to worry, whatever it is that you've been going on. Yeah, beautiful. 10 of Cups. To me, this is really joyful. This is family. This is reconnection. So it's interesting. So spiritually, I feel like you've gone through a really, really big shift, because we've got our Four of Swords, and this is where there's something that's been hidden, but it is going to be shown to you. It just might take a little bit of time, but emotionally, you're going to start to feel really much, much, much better. Wow, it's still there. I'm still seeing it. Four of Wands. I love this card. This again is about reuniting, coming into a safe space, feeling joy around others. Sometimes it can be moving home as well, but to somewhere that you really like. So let's have a look at this one. This one wants to come out. King of Swords. I love the King of Swords. This is the master of the plan, the master of actually being able to set up what's going to happen. So I feel that you're going to get a real truth come through for you, and it's going to be so clear and so clean. And that's what I feel you've been going through, is really letting go of this old, going through almost like being in the void. Yeah, so 9 of Swords. And if you've been worried, you don't have to be anymore. It was almost like a huge purification for you. So that 9 of Swords to me is you don't have to worry. And at night, if your brain's been going a bit crazy, it's okay. Everything's coming through for you. I love this. The Hanged Man. Surrender. You just surrender and allow the process that's been happening. Just allow it to do its job, literally. Because all these beautiful cards here are telling me that emotionally you're going to feel really good, really fine. So hang in there. I think we're all going through huge purifications at the moment as well. So, but yeah, it's going to be absolutely fine with those beautiful cards that came through for you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Maree.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
So she says, I recently had a vision quest, very spiritual, right on. Yes, thank you. Very good.
Wow.
Thank you, Irene, for playing.
Yes.
Okay, so Teresa's asking, is Marilyn, guardian of King Arthur, also Joseph, guardian of Jesus, and also Saint Germain?
Oh, beautiful. Okay. First of all, my understanding, Teresa, just personally, and what I've connected with is Merlin and Saint Germain are definitely soul vibration connection. Yeah, definitely. I have never asked about Joseph. That's really interesting. But I'll ask them one at a time first.
Yeah,
So
that's
we'll
what I
see
was thinking.
Merlin and Saint Germain. Let's see if there's a connection there energetically. Is there? Ouch! Gosh, they've been really. That's it there. Yeah. Oh, I love this. This is fabulous. So when one of them, like when the Merlin energy's not there, it becomes the other one. So it's like going from death to, or from, from transitioning from the old to the new, because that Ten of Swords is the finishing of something, and the Fool is the new something, and then Page of Pentacles. So this is when something new is being learnt. So depending on the vibrations, what I'm getting, the frequency in the field at the time is what energy would come through, whether it was Merlin or whether it was Saint Germain. So they're definitely connected, because those cards that was pretty amazing. So let's now just have a look to see if Merlin and Joseph were had any sort of connection. Okay. Interesting. Gosh, the cards are so hot today. It's ridiculous. Yeah, interesting. So I feel there could have been, Joseph may have been connected into like Merlin energy, I mean, because I love connecting with Merlin energy and working with it, or Saint Germain energy. So I feel there was a connection, but it wasn't actually, he wasn't actually Joseph. It was hidden, but there was that energetic connection, because the Four of Wands has come up, and this is a beautiful, safe place. This is somewhere where everyone's nurtured and connected. Okay. And then the Six of Wands. So whatever Joseph had to do, he did, because that's a victory card. But from that card, I would say no, that but there was a connection, but Merlin wasn't Joseph.
Okay, very cool. Cool question.
Yeah.
All right, Joel. Will something be revealed tonight in the Elon Trump interview on X?
Yeah, well, I did hear today that, I think, was it today that Mr. T went back on the platform, and he hadn't been on there since 23. So interesting. Good question. Let's see. Okay. Right. Will something be revealed? That's a really broad question. Maybe I'll change it to will something like really relevant for us people here in this type of group watching.
I'm sure it's going to be full of comms. For sure. Full of comms.
Will be coming out of our ears. So, yeah, the comms will be coming out of our ears. Strength. So, yeah, there's going to be something that comes out that will be really obvious, Tribal. So, let's have a look. Yeah, so he's going to be on fire. They're both, yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Is it that one? No, it's that one. Ten of Cups, again, like I said, beautiful emotional joy and connection and things coming together. So, yeah, I think the comms, everyone's going to be going, oh, yeah, look at that. He said that. Did he really say that? That's the feeling I'm getting. So it's going to cause some confusion for some people, because that Five of Swords has come up. They're going to be going, what is he on about? What does this mean? So,
the normies are going to be like,
blow their mind. So, because remember, a lot of them have done a shift over. Yeah. So, a lot of them have moved from being on one side to the other. So, and then we've got the Hermit. So I think it's going to be up to us to then go inside and actually have a look at it all and see, well, what actually makes sense to me? Is there anything I really need to know at this point in my life? Is this really going to impact me? Or is, again, this just part of the push to do the waking up and getting things in alignment? So for us, I maybe don't feel it's going to be anything too drastic.
Right.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Nothing's going to surprise us anymore. Okay. See, Kathleen, ascension here on Earth, needed, real, if we can go back to our higher dimensional density lives after death. And what is it? Is ascension here on Earth real if we can go back to our higher dimensional lives after death?
Okay, so Kathleen, I'm going to take it like, because my understanding is that we came here to help raise frequency, vibration, to have an experience, of course, but to also be a part of the shifting or the ascension. So that's my understanding. So I'm presuming that you're asking where we go once that's done. Once we feel, our soul goes, right, that's great. We've experienced what we needed. Now we can go home. I presume that's what you're asking. Would that be right?
I don't know. I don't understand what she's asking personally.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take it that we've done our job. The ascension's happened. When we leave this physical form, can we go home? And that's what I'm going to
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Yeah.
hope that's okay, Kathleen. Sorry.
Yes, she said yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's the question.
okay. Good. Wow, interesting. So, because we've got the Two of Swords come up, so it's almost like we're not meant to know. To me, that's like a no to the question. And what is it? So it's like we're still blindfolded to that. It's like and then we've got the Queen of Swords. She's someone that is direct, that does tell the truth. So maybe it's just not the right time yet for us to know that. And I think it's still so individual for every single person as to what we experience and where we're at within our soul journey anyway.
Yeah, that's what I got. Kind of what
Yeah,
came to mind for me.
yeah, it's like we're not meant to know. Look, we've got that one now. The Eight of Swords, all bound up. Nope. So Kathleen, I'm actually not getting that it's going to be a relevant way to answer that, because everyone's so individual, and we're all on such different journeys. And yeah, so I might. But it's weird in this lifetime. I remember I was only 20 or 30 or 20 something. I was going, I just want to go home, but I didn't know where home was. It was the most weirdest feeling, and that word just sometimes would just pop into my heart. I want to go home. Yeah, so it's really interesting, because home for me might be completely somewhere different interdimensionally for someone else.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What does the other question Kathleen had was what does Jasper have to say about the soul trap now?
Let's have a look. Let's tune into Jasper.
I mean, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just see what he might give us, something that we never thought of. So I'll just see what he can help me expand
Yep.
my vision with. Okay, this is interesting. He's saying it wasn't just souls, it was even like crystal energy. It was all sorts of things that were being reused. So that's fascinating, isn't it? So I'm going to ask him if Gaia was actually caught up in this in this system as well. Gaia knew as well. She knew. So she was almost sacrificing herself. And then when it comes, now it's the time for her to be ascending and evolving. It's like no holes barred. She now has to purify. So she knew too, he's saying. Oh, that's really made me quite emotional. Wow. Thanks, Jazzy. So like I said, sometimes he can show me something that I wouldn't have thought of.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's
So
beautiful.
it's not anymore, Kathleen. No, he was just showing me that it's purified. That's why we're going through so much purification, and frequency coming in is huge. So
Yeah, absolutely. So we can go ahead, and since we're done, it's time is up. I'll just go ahead and finish off with this question with Jasper giving us the words of advice for next week.
Okay, let's have a little look, Jasper. Get that big brain of yours working. He's saying stay low. So obviously, oh, this is interesting because yesterday when we checked in with the dream show, he showed us like a disc, like a satellite disc collecting something on the earth. It was on the earth though, and I said, oh, what's going on with that? And he said, oh, it's actually coming through the Great Central Sun. So this frequency is coming on. It's going to feel quite intense. And that's why he was just saying stay low. So just stay really cool, calm and collected. Don't let things trigger you. Yeah. And just keep yourself calm, almost like the hermit card. So keep yourself in that beautiful space and don't let things trigger you because there's going to be a lot of shifting happening. So yeah, that's what he's saying. Stay low.
Yes. Stay low, but stay high vibing.
Correct.
Always high vibing. Yeah, and if you guys haven't been to my Telegram channel, I posted a picture. This is very interesting. So my daughter sends me a picture and she goes, Mom, I edited this picture for you. And I'm like, what? Like, where did she get the picture? Like, maybe I sent it to her. So she sends me this picture back and I'm like, okay. So I started going in and zooming in and zooming in. And holy cow, there is such a clear picture of a mantis. I mean, like, I was like, almost like, so if you haven't been to my channel, my Telegram channel, it's always underneath the description for the video. The picture is there. You've got to see it. It's crazy. It's on the water. And I knew that they wanted me to look at that picture because why would my daughter pick just one picture to edit out of hundreds? Just one. So
yeah,
take a look at it.
It's very cool. Yeah, it was. It's a good picture to go in and tune into. Definitely.
Very cool. All right, guys, you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you on Sunday for Maree's Dream Time. And we love you. Stay high vibing.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.